The family convened in Uncle Matthew's oak-paneled study, the same room where he'd issued every important decision for 2 decades. 15 adults sat in a semicircle facing his mahogany desk. We'd been called to align expectations about grandfather Walter's estate. The will was months away, but Matthew liked to set the stage. I took the back row with a notepad, watching my adoptive family discuss my future as if I were a muted guest. Since my adoption at 15, money talk carried the quiet rule that some doors opened only for those with the name and the blood. Grandfather built his fortune for his line, Uncle Matthew said. Behind him, photos of factories and towers filled the wall, our name a fixture in a Pennsylvania mill town. Inheritance should track biology, he went on. Relatives who carry our genes and our name. That's what he intended. Approval rustled. Aunt Rose folded her hands. Cousin Nathan leaned forward. Even my parents stayed quiet, choosing peace over protest. To be clear, Matthew added, giving me a gracious glance. Adoption matters emotionally. Elise has been a wonderful addition, but inheritance is different. It's about biological descendants. I wrote in block letters, biological descendants only. The estate's approximately 47 million, he announced. I propose an equal split among the 6 biological grandchildren. Nathan, Logan, Grace, Lily, Ethan, and Mia. Roughly 7.8 each, the math landed where he wanted it. 6 names, 6 shares. No line for the daughter who'd called Walter grandfather for over a decade. I understand, I said, closing my notebook. That's perfectly clear. Matthew smiled, relieved. Maturity looks good on you, Elise. Thank you, I said, keeping my face warm while something colder clicked into place. Tuesday in my downtown office in Denver, Colorado. I reviewed the binders Matthew had passed around. Heartland Machinery Corporation appeared on every page. The crown jewel of Walter Industries, 30 years of profit, hammered into steel and dividends. I logged into my secure platform and glanced at the top line. Assets under management, $1.22 billion. Personal net worth, $580 million. Numbers built from my grandmother's modest bequest and 15 years of disciplined risk. I opened the Heartland position. 4 entities. Summit Harbor, 22%. Meridian Ridge Partners, 18%. Aurora Industrial Fund, 15%. Lattice Investment Group, 12%, 67%. Quiet and absolute. I called Tamara and Blake, my manager at Brightwater Capital. We're exiting Heartland, all 4 vehicles today. Elise, that's $180 million, she said. You're the controlling shareholder. An immediate pull will crater operations, I understand. She paused. Then you also understand payroll, contracts, families. I do, I said, thinking of the line workers who never sat in studies with mahogany desks. Proceed. By mid-afternoon, the calls began. Matthew first. Voicemail heavy with confusion. Nathan next. You're in finance. Can you help, Dad? 12 missed calls piled up before dusk. A text from my mother asked whether I knew anyone who could calm the markets. At 5:15, Tamara reported completion. Heartland stock fell 43% before the bell. Hiring freeze announced. Board in emergency session. I slept 17 missed calls by morning at 8:30. My doorbell rang through the peephole. Uncle Matthew hair must tie, askew eyes raw. I let him in. Someone pulled a plug, he said, dropping onto my couch. 180 million. We can't make payroll. What do you think happened? I asked. He swallowed. We offended the wrong person. I opened my laptop. Let's test that theory. He stared at the portfolio on my screen. This is you, he said. It was, I said. I withdrew because you defined family by chromosomes. He rubbed his eyes. If I'd known, you'd have been more polite, I said. Not more just. He winced. What do you want, Elise? Recognition in decisions that affect us all, and an estate plan that includes adopted family as family. Silence stretched. The clock ticked. Our people, he said. 400 paychecks. If you return, we survive. I'll consider reinvestment, I said, under new terms. I drafted while he watched $150 million as a partnership, board representation, quarterly transparency, wage protections that cut executive salaries before layoffs, and a revised inheritance naming all grandchildren, adopted or otherwise, with equal shares. They'll fight this, then explain who kept the lights on. You did, he signed. Then came paperwork, lawyers, bankers, a board vote that passed by one trembling margin. Heartland issued a statement. Expansion paused, but no one was fired. We rebuilt with guardrails. Executive bonuses moved to the back of the line. Apprenticeships opened on the floor. At the rescheduled family meeting, Matthew cleared his throat and looked at me. We were wrong, he said. Family is. The people who choose and are chosen. My mother squeezed my hand. Aunt Rose nodded. Nathan wouldn't meet my eyes, but he stood when I did. 6 months later, at the will reading, the distribution named 8 grandchildren. No footnotes. My share arrived with the same figures and the same dignity. We left the courthouse in winter light. Blood, I thought, is a story. So is belonging. I choose the story that keeps the doors open,